The double passage should not start out being weird. Because most of the time they're going to ask you specific line reference questions that just have to do with one of the passages. So we should just treat it as if we were just reading one of the passages and had some questions about it. So in this case, again, I still use the no reading strategy here, and I'm just going to dive into the line reference, so the first paragraph. But notice the first paragraph here is very short. This is a good example of where I might want to follow the +1 sentence rule. I mean, I should always follow it, but I'm going to do it here especially because I want to know what this paragraph is leading into. It's so short, I'm probably going to get a sense of what its purpose is from the second paragraph too. So let's look. It's a quote. Pathogens are acquiring resistance faster than we can introduce new antibiotics, and this is causing a human health crisis, says biochemist Kim Lewis of Northeastern University. So there's some sort of crisis. Literally, I can boil that whole paragraph down to one word. There's a crisis. Lewis is part of a team that recently unveiled a promising antibiotic born from a new way to tap the powers of soil microorganisms. I'm going to stop there for now. Negative, positive. That's my dumb summary of what's going on. So let's look at the choices and see if something matches up with that, right? There's a crisis, but they've got a promising antibiotic, solution, something. Present a claim that is supported and developed over the course of the passage. Well, no. Because if that were true, I would probably get some sort of positive to positive relationship, right? They're saying something and then they're going to keep saying it throughout the rest of the passage. But as we saw, there's a clear switch. We go from a negative crisis to a positive solution. This does not match with that dumb summary of the passage. B, introduce a controversy that the study described in the passage is intended to resolve. Okay, well, negative, positive, controversy, resolve. Maybe that could work. C, identify a problem that the research discussed in the passage may help to address. Okay, that also sounds negative to positive. Seems like it could work, right? Problem, and they're going to help address it. D, offer a theory that is challenged by the findings presented in the passage. Well, first of all, that sounds positive to negative. Theory, challenged. Challenged is kind of negative. But also, it's not a theory. They're just stating it as a fact, right? It's a fact that pathogens are acquiring resistance faster than we can introduce new antibiotics. They're not saying they think this is the case. They are saying it is the case. And that's something that we kind of ignore. That word theory means a specific thing. And so we've got to be careful with that word. It's not a filler word, right? We can test that like any other strong word in the choices. So, okay, B to C. Now that I'm looking at just two choices, it's easier for me to look at the differences between them and understand why one might be right and one might be wrong. Yes, they're both very similar, but they're not both right. One is right. Let's narrow our focus here. Introduce a controversy or identify a problem. Well, controversy is when you have different people disagreeing about something. This first paragraph isn't really a disagreement, right? They're stating it as a fact. This is a problem. This is a crisis. It seems like people agree with it. Or if they don't, that at least is not mentioned. So it's not a controversy. It is a problem. It is a crisis. So C is the better match. And I don't even need to go beyond that. And notice how I did that, right? I went through the first time and I wasn't really looking for a right answer. I was just kind of looking to get rid of anything that was totally wrong. And then when I had two similar choices, I was able to put them side by side and say, what makes them different, right? Let's look at each of these words that they've chosen. Controversy versus problem. I'm narrowing my focus to just two words, and looking at each of those words, I'm able to make a decision about the whole choice. That's what you want to do, especially when things get overwhelming, right? Narrow your focus, get a better sense of the little things that are happening, the little things that are different, and you'll start to notice these choices that seem the same. There's always a difference. You just got to find it.